So, one of the biggest questions that's always asked of me is what is the difference between staying in a hotel, an Airbnb, and a hostel? I wanted to break that down for you. So, personally for me, I've only stayed in hotels 2 to 3 times since I've been traveling in the past 11 years. And recently in Madrid after my Egypt trip, and my first time getting to Amsterdam. So one of the things that I learned very quickly when I started traveling is that the standards for hotels are very, very different in other countries versus the US. So unless you're getting a 4 to 5 star hotel or higher, your experience in that hotel may not always be what you're accustomed to here in the US and in Europe. So I had a very bad experience in Amsterdam where I was paying €60 for a hotel and it was like living things moving around, let's just say that. And unfortunately, because it was late and there was a lot of things that had happened, I ended up having to stay the night in this hotel and sleep on top of my backpack. So ever since then, I've made the decision to stay in either hostels and then later Airbnbs. So if you're gonna do a hotel, obviously it's gonna cost you a lot more money to get a decent hotel, and you don't have the opportunity to make as many friends. But if you're very uncomfortable about your things, if you're going to be going a lot of different places and you just really want to have one base where you're going to stay, or you just really want to relax and have privacy and peace and quiet, then a hotel is for you. An Airbnb, the reason why that's a really cool option for someone, if you want something in between the two, is you have an opportunity to stay in someone's home and you have your own private space. You don't have to worry about sharing it. And you can go out and explore for days at a time and come back to your Airbnb. It can be a little pricey sometimes depending on where and how much time you book in advance. But you do get to kind of live in the city. The only problem with that sometimes, if you're not savvy about where you're going, you might end up somewhere that's far from everything. So you just want to make sure that you research where the Airbnb is, where it's located versus all the things that you want to do and see. Hostels, for me, like I said, my favorite. The reason why I like hostels is because you do have a lot of different options. One, if you want to do a private hostel, you can. You can pay sometimes, most places, it could be anywhere from $25 to $45 a night. However, you can have your privacy, sometimes a private shower if you need that. A lot of times I do that on long trips just so I can have time to recover, usually only for 1, 2, 3 days. But I really like to do the dorm style living. And the reason why is because, first of all, it's very safe. And because of the competitive nature of the hostel environment, they're competing for our business. So they compete for things like safety, cleanliness, Wi-Fi, and location. So all those things are considered, even down to whether the showers are heated or not, or all different things that they get rated on. And when you go on to sites like Hostel World, they give you that information. So usually people will let you know what their experiences are like, so they try to live up to those expectations. So first of all, hostels are very safe. They're very inexpensive. You can find hostels anywhere from $10 to $30 a night. You are renting a bed, so you get a locker. Generally, that locker will either be under your bed or next to your bed, and you are sharing a room with other people. Now, if you're in a large group and the room sleeps, let's say 8, if you fill up that room, then obviously, you'll be in that room with your friends. But if you're on your own or with a small group, you might be in the room with other people. Most hostels are usually co-ed, so they have males and females, and you're gonna find people of all ages, and they're usually bunk beds. So, but for me, I've had some amazing experiences. I've made a lot of really cool friends. I really like the experience of the hostels. They all have common areas where they have televisions. Some have game consoles, usually have computer rooms and an eating area. So you have the opportunity to meet and talk to people from all over the world. And, you get to hang out with those people, spend time with them, get ideas on things to do and where to go. So hostels, I'm definitely very biased, but they're definitely my favorite and have given me some of the best experiences in the world. And I would definitely recommend for you to try it at least once. And, you can always DM me if you have any questions, as far as any other fears and concerns you have. But that's my take on the difference between hostels, Airbnbs, and hotels.